everyone, and welcome back to Your Health Matters. I am Dr. Shay Brown. I am a primary care provider. I'm a family nurse practitioner, nutritionist, plant-based nutritionist, exercise specialist, and obesity management specialist as well. So today on our segment, we will be talking to the audience. So I'm definitely encouraging all your questions that you have about nutrition, all your questions that you have about health. I'm asking that you guys post those questions for us so we're able to talk about them and maybe help to maybe make some behavioral changes. Wanted to let you guys know that we do have Fit for Future Generations, our plant-based cookbook. We are doing these by orders. I do have a couple, or maybe I may be having a few left over for my book, The Plant Powered Palette. So if you guys are interested in purchasing the book, then the only thing you have to do is just send me an email. I definitely will post that in here for you as well, so you know where to send the book. But I want to get started talking with some of the guests that we have on our show. We have 3 potential guests. One guest, she has been with the Fit for Future Generation, not Fit for Future Generation, but Fit for Life 90-day program. But she has been with the 90-day program a little bit longer. And then we have 2 guests on here that will be speaking for the audience, okay? These guests will be asked certain questions, and they will be asking us certain questions as well. We'll be talking about our health, as well as you guys sending me messages as well to ask questions about your health as well. Use this segment to be able to more educate yourself on making better behavior changes when it comes to your health. Understand the holidays are around the corner, okay? We want to be able to see another holiday, another healthy holiday, okay? So we want to be able to do that. So please ask your questions, and let's get this show started. All right, so the first person that I want to add to our stage today is Ricarda. Ricarda, she has been with our program for a while now, okay? She is going to talk to you guys about the program and what it has done let her start talking about her getting into the program. So welcome to Your Health Matters, Ricarda.
Hi, thank you for having me. I have been working with Shay now for a little over 2 years. When I came to Shay, I'd already been working out for maybe 6 months, but I wasn't really dropping any weight. I was getting smaller, but I wasn't dropping weight. And at the time when I started seeing her, I weighed 244 pounds. And she'll tell you over and over again, and I think it's very true, you cannot outrun a bad diet. So no matter how much I was working out, I wasn't eating the way I needed to. And I wasn't a horrible eater, but like she really taught me how to tweak things and learn portion control and intermittent fasting. And once I started following her protocols, like the weight just started to drop off. So now at 200, at 2 years later, little less than 2 years, I'm now 159.
And how much when you started, Ricarda?
244. So that's like 85-ish pounds that I've lost over a 2-year period of time. And it was 40 last year and then 40 this year, basically, is how it worked out. So it was, I think that's slow and steady and reasonable. And I definitely had periods where, I would stop following the protocol and then I would, be stalled and I wouldn't be losing any weight. So now I was like a size 20, 22, and now I'm a size 8, 10. And still working out and still eating right and still hoping to, lose a couple of more pounds. I still have a little belly fat I would like to see go away.
Ricarda, what kind of challenges did you face when you initially started the program?
Well, I think we all think we know everything. So, I would do what I wanted to do sometimes instead of doing what I was told was the best for me. Like for the first 90 days, you really are asked to follow a vegan lifestyle. And I was a big, huge meat eater. So that was really difficult for me. But over time, I realized when I cut the meat out, like that made a huge difference. And, I was able to lose weight a little faster. I do eat meat now, but I don't eat nearly as much meat as I was eating before. And also I have allergies to shellfish. So, being a pescatarian wasn't really working either and salmon too. Like if I eat too much of it, I was getting allergic reactions. So I do eat a little bit of meat here and there still.
Besides the weight loss, what kind of health benefits did you overcome with the program?
Well, I was diabetic. I still am diabetic, but I was taking like 4 different medicines. My blood sugar was really hard for me to manage.
Mhm.
No matter what I did. So I was constantly monitoring my blood sugar, constantly having to take insulin, watching my carbs to make sure, I wasn't having any problems. So now I just take one medication for diabetes. And I was wearing a continuous read monitor because my blood pressure sugar was so volatile that I just really had to know all the time where I was. And really, for the last 6 months, I have not spiked over what's considered a normal range. So I've stopped using the continuous read monitor. So now I just check my blood sugar once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and I haven't had any problems. So your life completely changes when you're not constantly concerned about, what am I eating? Is my blood sugar going to be too high? There were times where my blood sugar would get too low and I would almost pass out. My blood pressure has stabilized. My blood pressure got kind of low and I had to get off my blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure was too low. I was on a lot of medicines, high cholesterol, like I was really unhealthy. Like you don't realize how unfit you are and uncomfortable you are until you lose some of the weight and you start to feel more comfortable. Like I just went to we take my niece and my daughter, not my niece, my daughter and my nephew to Fright Fest, in the fall every year at Six Flags. And so I just went with them the weekend before last and I realized like, I would be exhausted and we'd be walking around. We walked the equivalent of 6 miles that day.
Okay.
And I've been doing it since they were 4 years old and 5, and now they're 17 and 20.
Mhm.
And, they couldn't keep up with me. And before I could barely keep up with them. And we'd sit on a bench and just sit around and wait for them to get off rides and come back to us. And I was like, no, I'm with you. We're going to go together. So, and even over the last few years, like it's been getting easier and easier and easier.
Mhm.
And I do a lot more activities like hiking. I'm going hiking besides going to the gym on a regular basis. I've been riding my bike out on bike trails. And none of that would I've ever done before.
So, what advice would you, because I was going to ask you, how did the detox program change your life? And you just automatically already answered that question. And that is so good to hear because a lot of people think that they're doing the right things and they think that they have all the right answers. Like I had a patient today, her hemoglobin A1C was 13. She's on Ozempic, she's on Basaglar, she's on sliding scale insulin, and she's on 2 diabetes medications. So your her finger stick was high, and then she's telling me, I'm eating all the right things and da da da. So I'm not doubting that you are. I said, but your hemoglobin A1Cs let me know how you've been eating from the last 3 months. So I kind of like to see what does it look like, you know, over the last 3 months because maybe you've been eating good recently, but what has your numbers been over the last 3 months? So when we measured her, and I explained to her your hemoglobin A1C is supposed to be less than 5.7 to be a non-diabetic, and it has to be less than 6.4 to be a pre-diabetic. Her number was 13. But as I began to talk to her more about changing the diet, they become very offensive. So as I am going to bring in another guest. We want to ask those questions. Why do people become very offensive when we start talking about that diet? Okay, that is the question. What was your reason for becoming offensive? If you have, or if you did become offensive when someone mentioned to you it's your diet.
Um, because I think we're eating healthy because you're eating what they're telling the government or whoever sets the standard American diet. You're eating what the standard American diet is. The
Hmm.
standard American diet is the initials are SAD, SAD.
Yeah, yeah,
It's killing us.
it
Our
is.
food is killing us. And I really don't eat compared to what a lot of people eat. I wasn't eating that badly.
Hmm.
But you really have to make fruits and vegetables like the center of your diet if you want to be healthy.
That's
So
true.
now I tend to, before I eat anything, I'm going to eat some broccoli or some cauliflower that I roasted. So I always have roasted potatoes and things I can, eat really quickly if I'm hungry. And then I'll eat the meat or something else on top of that. So it's hard for people to accept that they're doing something wrong when they're doing what they've been taught to do their whole lives.
Okay, thank you so much, Ricarda, for sharing your story, your truth. So now this is where the excitement begins, okay? We are now going to bring on two guests that are not part of the Fit for Life detox program. And then we're going to talk to them about health issues. What is their typical day like? Are they being successful? What diets have they chosen? Just let's just get some talk, okay? And I encourage you all to kind of like give a little bit of feedback as well. The first guest that I'm going to add on here is Miss Robin. Miss
Hi.
Robin, you can say hi to our guest. And the next guest I'm going to add is Denitra. All right. So, Robin, if you can just introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself and why you thought it was important for you to come on to our podcast tonight.
Well, I'm Robin. I live in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I am good friends with Denitra, and she has been keeping me posted on the success of her sister Ricarda. So I wanted to sit in on this talk and get a little bit more information about it. I am 68 years old. I am in decent health. I wouldn't say top health, but I'm in decent health. I am definitely obese. I'm overweight. I weigh about 240 right now. Um, I'm 5'6". I weigh about 240. And I've been trying to lose weight and keep it off for a few years.
Mhm.
I had some success pre-COVID. I lost a lot of weight, lost about 40, 50 pounds. But then with COVID, I would slip back into those old habits and gained it all back.
Mhm.
And I have been struggling ever since then. Um, I don't eat bad normally, but I do have a problem with the occasional binge. Binging becomes a problem for me.
Mhm.
That
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
uh-oh.
Sorry, I was leaning on my computer. I was
Oh.
talking.
Okay.
So I have the occasional binge, and it could last for a weekend. It could last for a couple of weeks until I get back on track.
Mhm.
And this is where the weight creeps back on. Now I have been, I don't know how much you want me to share, but I have been on a Wegovy, a compounded version of Wegovy since mid-August.
Mhm.
And because I was over 250 before then.
Mhm.
So I've had some success with it. The issue I'm having with the medication now is that it's working well enough that I don't eat. That's an issue. I need to eat, but
Mhm.
I just have issues where I don't feel like eating. And I've been trying to work that out with the doctor to help me. They've given me some information, some things they want me to try.
Mm. Okay. I'll be
That's where
very
I am.
I'll be very interested to hear what kind of ideas they would like for you to try. Okay. Thank you so much, Robin and Denitra. If you can just introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Oh, I can see everybody's shaking their head. Well, I'm Denitra. I'm Ricardo's older sister by about 10 years. And I've watched her success, and I've watched her all her life. Um, and I have always been in all kind of exercise weight loss programs and have been very successful. I'd say I probably lost 40 pounds at least 100 times, but it's not something that I keep off. And then I end up, after my success, I start creeping back the other way. I used to be very into fitness, working out 3-4 hours a day just because that gave me an adrenaline rush and I liked it. But due to knee surgeries, hip surgery, recent elbow surgery, and falling down Ricardo's stairs, my knees aren't just allowing me to do a whole lot right now. So I'm not able to exercise like I used to exercise. And I'm going to be 67 in about 7-8 days. And I know that I need to do something because I can tell that I'm killing myself. I eat whatever I want all the time. I drink margaritas daily. So, and I know all of this is bad, due to the stressors and the things that I have going on. And I always say to myself, well, you can do this again. You've done it, many, many times before. But I'm kind of tired of the, picking something, because as I tell everybody, all of my friends, I invited actually 2 other friends to kind of join this little conversation too, is that anything works as long as you do it. But once you stop doing it, then it's not going to work anymore. So there needs to be some type of thing that you can really feel good about and stick with and not feel like you've been deprived, and still be able to, be the weight class that you want to be in. So, I'm very, very proud of my sister. She just looks absolutely fabulous. So I know, everything she's learned and everything she's been doing, it shows, and because it showed on her, I'm like, was inquiring because she's watched me lose weight 100 times before, and, I really admire that she's lost this weight and she's, kept it off, and she doesn't feel deprived, so she told me about you and your program. And I had originally asked her, I said, well, maybe I'll fly to Baltimore and, meet with her and see if it's something that I want to do, because I'm a flight attendant. I can fly anywhere when I get ready. And then I said, well, and she did tell me, yeah, she works with people, that are out of town, out of state, so, it might be somebody you might want to, talk to. And I thought, well, maybe I should. So when she invited me to be on this call, I thought, why not? Now I want to look like her.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate your truths. I do have questions for the both of you. And Ricarda, I would like for you to listen to their reactions or response to my questions. And I would like for you to respond back to their responses, okay?
Okay.
First question is, what's your why? What is your why? And then the second question is, are you important? 2 questions. Denitra, if you can answer that, those 2 questions for me.
Well, the why for me right now is I can tell that my health is starting to fail because I'm getting older and I haven't changed my lifestyle. So when I go to the doctor, they tell me, oh yeah, your cholesterol's, a little high, or your A1C, you're not quite diabetic, you're pre-diabetic. So I can see that these numbers and things are kind of changing. And so I know why it's changing because I'm not doing anything about it. And what was the second question?
Do you see yourself as being important?
I see myself as being important, but I let my importance go because I was so involved with the care of my aging mother, which has been traumatizing. So that took over my life and depressed me. And when I'm depressed, I eat more and I feel sorry for myself. So then I didn't become as important to myself because I was too busy giving all what little bit I had to someone else.
Okay. Thank you so much. And what about you, Robin? What is your why?
My why is it's health. I want to live a longer life. I don't want to be the reason that I shorten my life. I mean, every day, only God knows when it's time to go. So, but I don't want to hasten that by being irresponsible with my health. So I need to be more diligent, and I have done well. I've made some improvements this year. And
Mhm.
I'm happy to say that I'm no longer pre-diabetic and my cholesterol is down. And these things, I'm turning the numbers in the right direction. So that was one of my whys is I wanted my numbers to be better because better numbers equal better health is what I thought.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Am
And
am I important?
yes.
Yes and no. I would have to say no because I have two daughters and four grandchildren, and they are like the center of my world.
Mhm.
And I will do whatever I need to do for them, which
Mhm.
means that I tend to put myself on a back burner and my needs have to wait until I can get them situated. I am the ultimate mama bear. I'm going to always make sure the family is taken care of before I am. And that I know I need to fix that, but that's a very difficult mountain to climb. But I am aware of it at least. But it hasn't changed in all these years.
Ricardo, can you respond to Denitra first, please?
Um, well, Denitra, also you keep getting hurt. Like you're breaking bones and having hip replacements and knee replacements. Like the weight has a lot to do with that too. So
Yeah.
you don't want to be in a wheelchair or having to ride around in a cart in 5 to 10 years. So I think you need to lose some weight and work out so that you can, be healthy older person.
Absolutely.
And you have to put yourself first. And I think you're starting to learn that. I know from conversations.
And for Robin, what will be your response for her?
It is great that you have made some leeway and you just got to keep going and you got to like kind of dig in a little deeper so that you can get the results you want. And you got to, you have to also take care of yourself first because
Yeah.
you want to be here for them for the long term.
Yeah. I
So
keep telling
if you're,
myself
yeah, you can't do,
I need to
kill
make me
yourself.
the priority. I need to
Yeah,
be the priority. I keep
you're,
saying that, but it hasn't set in yet. But I am going to have. I'm aware of it. It
you,
be,
that's half the battle
it
though.
was
If
years
you
that I
know
wasn't
you
even
can
aware
change
of
it.
it. So now I know about it. I'm trying to make that change. I'm trying to
That,
say no, I can't do that, or yes, I can. I'm working on it.
that's good.
All right, I do have a question for all of you. Do you guys feel that you find excuses to eat?
Oh yes.
And is that comfort for you, knowing that you have an excuse to eat unhealthy?
Is it comfort?
Is it comforting to you mentally, knowing that I have an excuse to eat unhealthy? Because
Well, for me, I don't make excuses to eat. I eat because that's what I do. 24/7. I am eating something. I'm eating junk, I'm eating sugar, I'm eating snacks. I'm eating food. I can't tell you the last time I turned on the stove to actually cook something. I eat out every day. I eat out every day because I don't feel like doing anything else. So if I'm going to eat out every day, of course I'm making bad choices because everything is, processed foods, and I know that I can do better, but I just haven't found the motivation yet to do that. And I don't know if part of it's because I'm always hurt and having surgeries and I'm down,
Mhm.
and it's just easier for me to eat what I don't, because I do know, I definitely know I don't do what I know, but I've been through a very good program before and had very good success, and I
Mhm.
love working out, and I just can't do it. I can barely walk around because I'm always in injury.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm making the choice to eat, but at the same time I'm over it. I'm over killing myself. I'm over being miserable,
Mhm.
because I can't fit what I want to fit. fact, I just sent Ricardo a boatload of clothes.
She did. She sent me a giant, humongous FedEx box of clothes.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I can't fit any of these. And I fit everything. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I could not believe it.
And they were mostly size 10s, you know, because when I was really into it and, you know, watching what I ate and, you know, being really conscious and stuff like that and working out. And for me, working out goes hand in hand with me being in a program. And when I can't work out, I really kind of feel defeated. So then I don't, you know, do the food because I'm not doing what I enjoy, which was working out.
Mhm.
You know, so, and I know they say, well, you know, try to find other things you can do, you know, to work out, maybe go to the pool, you know, and
You
do
should
some
go to the
exercise at
pool.
the pool. And, you know, and I will, I keep saying that. I keep saying I'm going to. That's my famous words. Oh yeah, I'm going to.
Yes.
You know, and misery loves company. That's why me and Robin are good friends. And my other two friends that I thought were going to join on here, but they
We're
didn't.
all in the same boat.
All in the same. Yeah, we travel
Um,
together. We talk all the time. We're
so,
trying different things. So yeah,
question that I have for you guys: why you guys can't stop that boat and get on another one? Because
Oh,
the boat that
there's
you're
no reason. There's no reason
the
why.
boat that you guys are selling down right now, you know, it's not that it's going to kill you; it may debilitate you,
right.
and we all know that. So my question is, I mean, you guys do everything together. Why you guys can't be a support for one another?
I think we are. It's just that we're not in the same city. We, you know, support each other in everything that we do, but you know, we'll get into a groove together and say, okay, we're going to do this together. We're going to check in with each other. We're going to see how we're doing.
Mhm.
But we two weak-minded people when it comes to doing what they have to do can't really help pull the other one up by the bootstraps because it's easy for
That's
one
why
to
you need
say,
this program, because there's a lot of accountability within the program. And we
That's
all work together as a group. We have weekly check-ins on Sunday where we weigh ourselves on a scale that measures everything, like BMI, all sorts of different measures. And so we're kind of accountable to each other and to Dr. Brown Brown.
We also teach you about those important numbers that your doctors tell you about. So you're able to interpret those numbers. So when people say, well, my cholesterol levels have gone down, what does that mean? Your total cholesterol, your good cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, your triglycerides, what numbers have actually improved? All of my clients know and patients know what their numbers should be because not only are those numbers in my cookbook, because this is more than just a cookbook, it's a health and wellness book as well. They talk about your health in the beginning. The added on bonus is the recipes that I have in the back. That's the added on bonus. But in the beginning, we talk about your health because these are things that you guys should know about. Your hemoglobin A1C, we know what the importance should be. We talk about that as well. We talk about your kidney levels. What happens when you have people that have high blood pressure? Well, we talk about those important numbers as well. And if your pressure is high, then I always ask patients or people, well, how much blood is getting to your kidneys if your blood is just sitting up here above your heart level? That's when we call it high blood pressure. But if your blood is flowing through at a 120 over 80, then you know that your kidneys are getting enough blood that it needs to be able to do what it needs to do because the kidneys, they're like that little water wheel that was on Little House on the Prairie. I don't know if you guys remember that. But if you stop the water flow from that water wheel, what you think is going to happen to the water wheel?
Slows down.
So it stops. And that will be your kidneys. And at that point, the people will need dialysis. So understand what you're doing to your body. When we age on the outside, you can best believe we're aging on the inside. I tell people that you're not playing red light, green light anymore. So why are you still eating foods that you were eating when you was playing red light, green light? My takeaway conversation from both Robin and Denitra is that yes, you guys do need a little bit more support than just having the friendly support because I mean, if one fails or if one is not doing what they need to do, then you know what? It's going to be okay because that other person's not doing what they need to do as well. But when you're highly educated, and I can see that you two are very highly educated women because you know what you're doing wrong, but you just don't know how to exactly fix it. But like my grandmama say, she said that when you know better, you do better. And that's how Ricardo's able to keep her weight off. She keeps the weight off and she maintains now. She didn't mention that I put her out the first time she got into my group because she wasn't doing what
Oh,
she was.
she told me.
I did. I will
She
not.
did.
I will not allow anyone to fail my program. And if you start failing, I will put you out because this program will not fail you. Tell them, Ricardo.
It won't. If you do what Shay recommends, you will drop the weight. It is, and I've been overweight my entire adult life. I'm not wasn't a yo-yo dieter. No matter what I did, the weight wasn't coming off. So I really didn't think it was gonna come off. And then I was exercising and it still wasn't coming off. And that diet change was like made all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. So with the ladies that's on the call right now, what questions do you have for us right now? And Ricardo, I'm going to let you answer those questions. And if you cannot, then I'll answer them. But what questions do you guys have for us? That's my main interest right now.
Well, one of the things that I had asked Ricardo about is because I had a nutritionist coach before. She was very good. I was very successful with her. And she told me, well, I want you to try, a vegan diet for 2 weeks. And I'm like, huh? I didn't last 2 days because I'm so used to, the meats, and it just seemed to be really difficult to eat a plant-based and go out and find plant-based things. And in fact, I have a friend that is a vegan, and when we get together and go out to eat, she only orders the French fries, because she says that's basically the only thing in a regular menu that she can eat. So to go plant-based for me is something I'm like, I don't know. Where I was successful was on high protein and complex carbs. It took me a while to learn the complex carbs. And always having a protein and a complex carb, and that let the body get to starvation, but eating like 6 times a day, smaller meals. And that did, it worked for me. It was very successful. But my problem is keeping it up. When I hear plant-based, although our brother-in-law, he's been a vegan for a long time. He loves it. He says, oh, he makes good stuff. And I even thought about joining the purple onion and different things like that so I can have the food already brought to me. So it's simple to prepare. I don't know. I am at a stage now that I'm kind of over it. I'm over what I've been doing, and I do want to do something. Now, I haven't fully committed my mind to, do I want to do an organized group thing? Because I'm sure I could be successful at it, but I want to know that, okay, am I really going to commit? Because it's so easy for me to not commit because I like to eat. I like my margaritas. I like to, hang out, socialize, and not really hang out because there's no place to hang out when you're this age. But, we hang out at restaurants is what we do. That's our hangout.
I like to tell people that food is like an STD. Say that you're dating Tyrone, okay? And you just love Tyrone because he looks so good and he's always home when you come home, but Tyrone ain't got a job, but he treats you like royalty, okay? So you meet Tyrone, you guys are intimate. About a couple of weeks later, you notice that there is something going on different in those very special areas. Then you go see your primary care provider, and your primary care provider tells you that you have chlamydia, an STD. Well, the only man I've ever been with is Tyrone. So you talk to Robin and say, hey, look, I just got medication. Well, maybe you won't tell her that, but anyway, I think Tyrone is cheating on me. And Robin is going to tell you, why don't you leave Tyrone? Because he's not good for you. Everybody know he's down the street cheating on you with Katrina down the street. But I love Tyrone, just like you love to eat, just like you love your margarita. But Tyrone is giving you an STD. So you tell Robin, mind your own business, and you go back to Tyrone because he just looks so good and you just love him. So 3 weeks later, you come home, you and Tyrone are intimate again. About a week later, you notice that there's something not right in that area. Again, you come back, hey, you coming to see me. I will tell you, you have not gonorrhea, but trichomonas now. Okay? Trichomonas. So Tyrone keeps bringing you an STD home. Just a hypothetical question. Would you stay with Tyrone?
Heck no.
The question, would you stay with Tyrone knowing that he's bringing you an STD? Would you stay with him?
No.
I love Tyrone. I love to eat. Remember what you said. If you know that Tyrone is not good for you and you leave Tyrone, you know these foods are not good for you, but you just love that food. What's the difference? What is the difference?
Well, I guess the food don't talk. But it is an addiction. It is a bad
And
habit.
it will make you sick.
Yeah.
Tyrone is making you sick.
Yeah.
So every time you pick up those things that love you, you can best believe they don't love you back. Because you're not at the age of playing red light, green light anymore, number one. And number two, you cannot pick up and go like you used to.
Mm-mm.
No.
You cannot.
No, cannot.
So why are you still messing around with Tyrone? He's bringing you an STD. I keep asking that question. Why are you still with Tyrone?
Yeah, Robin, why did you let me stay with Tyrone?
I know she's gonna run to me.
She just turned. Cannot answer the question because you cannot let go of Tyrone. It's not an addiction. Stop saying that. You know right from wrong. Tyrone is not an addiction. The man is bringing you, he done brought you 2 STDs. What are you waiting for, HIV or syphilis? What is the difference between Tyrone and food? Tyrone bringing you STD, food giving you an unhealthy weight, food messing with your blood pressure, food messing with diabetes. I'm not saying anyone have those things, but what's the difference? You like the STDs?
Yeah.
Now?
But I'm in the same boat with, of course, with misery loves company, and so I totally understand. I totally understand what she's saying, and
I was talking to you too.
me as well, because I do well. I follow as what my primary doctor asked me to do, the Mediterranean diet, and I've been successful with that. You asked about meat. I am a meat eater. I'm going to have difficult trying to go. I am straight up a meat. I am carnivorous. I love meat.
Can I say this to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that a lot of the meats that you're eating are full of saturated fats that keeps your cholesterol elevated? Even though your doctor is having you on all these medications to lower your cholesterol. I mean, who wants to keep taking medications for anything? Not saying you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, who wants to take medicines to control diabetes? Who wants to take medicine to control cholesterol, hypertension, and even some cancers? Who want to be on all of these medications?
I don't want to be on any of it. But I did turn my numbers around this year, and I was on the Mediterranean diet doing that. My issues have been, for me, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, I run into trouble when I get into the binging. I can go along for months and eat just what I'm supposed to eat. I'm doing just well. I'm losing the weight, but then I hit a binge, and it's usually an emotional issue. That I hit a binge, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And
so Tyrone comes to see you on the weekend.
Yes, he comes to see me in my weakest moment.
And that's Tyrone.
Yes,
hitting you in your weakest. So why can't you leave him alone?
I know.
You're not a weak person. You don't appear to be a weak person.
No, I'm pretty sturdy, pretty strong. Yep.
Why can't you?
Mine is set. I get things done.
So why can't you leave Tyrone alone?
We Dee and I ask ourselves this question all the time. Why do we keep doing this?
Going back to Tyrone.
Yes.
And that's funny.
Me and our other 2 that aren't on this call, which one of them is trying to get in.
Yeah, Margarita said she was on the call, but she didn't know if we could see her.
Well, we can't see her, but
I can't see her.
No.
What just happened?
I don't know.
I think she went to check something.
Maybe. But
Dee, I love your new glasses. They are they are
like
lovely.
them?
Yes, I like them a lot.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Guys, I kind of got messed up a little bit. I don't know what I
was
did.
like, what happened?
I know, but I did not see anyone in my invite.
She must have hung up then.
Yeah,
she was trying to get in.
Well,
listen, you guys, when you start to
go ahead.
change your eating habits, you will stop binging. I don't binge anymore because your stomach cannot handle it. You cannot hold that much food. You lose that desire to binge. I don't eat as much meat. I still eat it sometimes, but I could eat a whole 1 pound steak. When our family gets together, how do we eat? I'll throw a big 1 pound, 1 inch, ribeye for everybody. Everybody gets their own steak. Now I'm splitting that steak with like 4 of us. I don't need all that. So when you kind of get into it and you lose more, your stomach shrinks, and then the cravings stop. The things that you think you have to have, you don't want anymore. I rarely eat out anymore. And when I eat out, I really like not impressed with what I got. I can make better food at home. I mean, I always could have made better food at home anyway, but and food is crazy expensive now. The other day I got her Chinese food. I ate some of it too. And just to get a soup and this lo mein was like $28, and it was garbage. And I can make that at home healthier with half the oil and the right kind of oil. And it would have cost a third as much money.
That's where I differ from Dee. I don't eat out a lot. I do cook at home, and I cook, and I think that also, like Ricardo's saying, it adds to the success because you're managing the portions and the ingredients and all that. You eat out, and they give you these big platters of food, and you think you have to finish it all and all that kind. I don't eat out very often at all. I cook most of my meals here at home, and I think that helps me a lot to manage things until I start binging.
That weekend Tyrone, girl.
Tyrone steps in, and then
it's all over. You lose control.
And we all know he's bringing those STDs, and she just welcoming on up in there. Come on in here, Tyrone. Come on, give me all that good loving that I know you're going to give to me. Make me feel better. But you walk away with an STD every time. Every time you walk away with an STD because he's down the street with the neighborhood hoe. Sorry, did I say that out loud? But I mean, I'm just trying to make this as clear as possible.
I get what you're saying. I never thought of it in that picture. I never considered it that way. But that is kind of what it is,
Yeah.
I do have a question for you guys from the audience. Kiana Morgan asks, I guess this is you, Rob, Denitra. Would you consider hiring someone to meal prep so you can have more cooked foods at home? I think this one is for you because you getting it in with Tyrone, girl.
Marguerite said she's just leaving the chat. She's several chat comments or something. I don't know what Marguerite said. Something about she was leaving the chat. I had really considered, I don't know if I would hire somebody to do the cooking for me, but I have considered places that have already had, meal prep food that you can buy and eat, such as, those, I don't even know half the names of the ones they offer on TV.
Like Hello Fresh or something?
Yeah, like Hello Fresh, the Purple Onion. I have seriously considered that. Here in Minnesota, I don't know if there's anybody here that I would be able to hire that would be cooking for me. But I will tell you this, I rack up a big bill eating out all the time. And sometimes I go through my monthly expense on, where I ate out and how much I spend. And it's been as much as $700 a month just eating out. So
okay. We have Miss Margaret in our chat now. So Miss Margaret,
there she is.
I've been on the chat since 7:25.
Miss Margaret, we do.
Yeah,
apologize.
I've been listening, but y'all just.
Miss Margaret, we are live right now, so we would like to continue on with our conversation. We do apologize.
I was really getting frustrated. I'm hearing everything, but nobody's hearing me.
Okay, Miss Margaret. So what you've been hearing so far, do you have anything that you want to add to, I guess, your amigos? I don't even know.
The three amigos.
That's right, the three amigos over here.
Well, I wonder if Eleanor's on there. She's trying to be on there too, but I don't know if she made it on. I don't know. Well, yeah, Margarita, what do you have to say? You listen to everything, and the three of us.
I'm hearing a lot of static.
But did you hear the conversation?
I'm just hearing a lot of static.
I don't know what to tell you about the static
Mm-mm,
part.
I don't know
Yeah, I
either.
heard everything. Yeah, I heard everything.
Okay. So what's your comment? You got a comment?
My comment is, well, I better start from the beginning. I know I gained about 20 pounds during the pandemic, and that's mostly from drinking a lot of Moscato wine. And lately, since I go on a cruise every month, I gain a lot of weight doing cruising. And I'm
Yeah.
not a vegan. I don't plan to be on a vegan.
So, Miss Margaret, what works for
So,
you?
I don't know what to do.
So, what's been working for you? I understand you saying you gain weight. Hello, Miss Margaret.
I hear a lot of static. I can't
All right, let me let you
hear.
let and then put you back in. All right. So we're gonna, because I think that she has two here.
So back to this hiring a cook. Somebody asked about hiring a cook.
Absolutely.
But I don't see that as a feasibility. I would love to have my own personal
There's lots
chef
of
to work
meal.
for.
There's got to be in somebody in Minnesota that does meal prep. It's really popular now, like where you just order your meals ahead and you tell them what your dietary.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few places around here that have that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That you can go and you can buy stuff that they've already done. Now I don't know what it tastes like,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know that there's places that that kind of have that.
Okay, so
But you know how to prep your own meals. You've done it a million times. You were telling me before, like 3 years ago, this is how I make my salad, and I have this little chopper thing, and blah 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 blah.
Oh, I
You
definitely
do
know how
it.
to. I know how to do it. I know how to cook. I know how to.
She's
I
an
know how to.
excellent cook too.
well, my question is for you ladies, what are you women willing to give up to be healthier? Because from what I understand, COVID was 4 years ago. So,
Well, I'm not using COVID as an excuse.
no, I'm not saying that anyone was. All right, simmer down.
No, no.
I'm just saying COVID was 4 years ago. So us saying COVID, I mean, that's 4 years ago. You could have lost 80 pounds in 4 years. Okay. The thing is that we are not consistent, maybe.
Well, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
We are not disciplined, I can say, maybe with our health. And we're not dedicated to our health. Can I say that maybe we try to find things that are easier for us that may not be as healthy, but it is easier based off of our life and our work situation. I too, Miss Robin, I'm a mama bear as well. I have two kids, one that is autistic and the other one's in college. Both of them are really in college. I am a primary care provider. I see up to 20 patients in a day. And I have to make sure all their information is done, charts are closed, all the referrals are sent off to them. I have a nonprofit for children with obesity or at risk for obesity. I have a business, my own business, SBB Fit for Life, that I'm trying to get off the floor. I have a husband. I have trying to maintain my home. So we all are life in it. So as we keep on life in it, my question would be, where do we find that time to say, you know what, let me just do it instead of saying, I have so much stuff that I have to do for other people because God knows I do a lot for others. I mean, Ricardo, she can attest to that. She knows my life. Tells me to take a break, but I tell people I'll sleep when I'm dead because I have things to do. Okay. So again, my question is, when will be that moment that the light bulb actually comes on and say, you know what, I need to do better? I had a patient today. He came in to get a physical done, blood pressure 193 over 96.
What?
His stroke level. and he was in for a physical, but I just had to ask him a couple of more questions about signs and symptoms of a stroke. He agreed that he's been having headaches. He was blurred vision in his left eye and it's starting to go over to his right eye. So I had to immediately let him know I cannot finish your physical, sir. I need to call 911 and get you up out of here because I feel that you're having a stroke. So his excuse was his blood pressure was so high because his wife just bought him a cheesesteak. When
Mm.
I asked him to change his diet, the man is already on oxygen. I mean, he barely can walk or breathe. But you're eating a cheesesteak and you're diabetic. You have high blood pressure. Because I'm asking, why are you doing these things to purposely hurt yourself? So my question to you ladies is, what would be that light bulb for you?
Well, here is my personal answer.
Thank you.
I am ready, and I am very successful when I am programmed, when I'm working in a program, such as something like you say your program is. I've been always successful at doing a program. It's just that I haven't been involved in anything, but I was intrigued with my sister's success. And I had said to her before, I think it's something that I want to do. I think I might want to, work with your person. My only skepticism was, the vegan part. And not that I'm a big meat eater. I mean, I do prefer seafood over meat, but just doing the whole just basic plant-based. And if I'm to be honest with myself, even bigger than that is I like my margaritas. Now, I wasn't born with them. I can do without them, but I know that I'll have them. And I know in moderation, everything is okay from time to time. But I'm willing to make a change. I'm willing to even try your 90-day detox program because it gives me a purpose. It gives me a program, and I know it'll give me results if I stick to it.
Yes, it will.
I had my friends join in and listen because we're always on 3-way, 4-ways, talking with each other about our struggles. And I told them, well, I'm going to listen in on what my sister's been doing. And maybe you guys should listen in too, because information is free. The more you learn and the more you hear might be a nugget for you there.
Mhm.
So this is what I'm going to do. Join in so you can hear the information because it's something that I really want to start getting myself geared towards. I have to. I'm barely walking these days. So I know that I've got to really make a change. And if it worked for my sister, it's good for me.
No one is asking anyone to be vegan. No one is asking anyone to be plant-based. I'm only asking that you give me 90 days of your life. You can invest just 90 days of your life. I promise you this program will change the way you think about food. And it's not that you can't go back to those foods. You're going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know about rewarding myself with this food because this is one of the reasons why I had to leave those foods. So why would I want to reward myself with the same thing that got me in this predicament in the first place?
And I agree. And I know anytime you do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit. I think 90 days would kind of bring it in home where you would really feel a difference and want to continue. I agree with you 100%. So that's not my issue. That's, wasn't even my concern.
Mhm.
Yes, hearing more about it. I know that it's, mostly plant-based. I do love vegetables. I do love eating all kind of vegetables. I don't really have a problem with that.
Mhm.
Like I said, if I was going to say I had a problem, I'd have to kind of really say, okay, you know what, let's take these 90 days and not have this margarita, and I could do it. It's not like I'm, need to go to AA or anything like that. But, I've treated myself how I want to treat myself, and I'm ready to make a change for myself. So I would like to do your 90-day thing.
I appreciate you.
So and I had already told my sister that before.
Mhm.
I just brought my buds in so that they can hear information because I had already decided it was something that I wanted to do.
And I appreciate you for that. And I will definitely get with, or you can just text me send me in the chat your email address, and then I will send you a link to where you can get started with the program. My only purpose, Denitra, is to save a life. That's my only purpose, to give you better quality of your life, to take away the aches, the pain, Arthur, all those things. to teach you discipline, to keep you
Right.
dedicated, not to me, but to yourself. Because Ricarda is not dedicated to me. Ricarda, she is like, she can run my program. I mean, she knows, but she was like one of the worst in my program. Okay. But
Right.
you cannot pay Ricarda to do anything that's going to harm her body. She loves being 158, dropping down from 237.
Oh, I know she does.
Yeah.
I know. I talk to her all the time. I know she does. She's done great.
And only thing I had to do was get her with the program and make sure she was dedicated to
Yeah.
this program, because the program does not fail you. You fail the program.
Right.
I don't understand what the 90 days is about. I don't understand what that is. So I probably need a link or somewhere I could go and read about it.
Well, to be honest with you, that is a pretty much a discovery call. And then I will tell you all about the program. If you want to put your information in the chat as well, I can send you, or you know what? There's the email right there, xdrshay@gmail.com. Okay. And if anyone is interested to hear more about this program, um, I can definitely see people out of state. I mean, we just had a gentleman living in North Carolina, and he posted a picture. And I mean, I think I got him and Ricardo and somebody, Dr. K, on there as well. I mean, he went from 240 something down to one something. No, he went down from two. He was under 200 pounds. He started at 237. He dropped 37 pounds in 90 days. Just by listening.
Wow.
That's only in 90 days. And he's staying with the program because he says he's like, Ricardo, I feel better. But when you know better, you do better.
Right.
You
I
know?
agree.
So that's what the program is all about. Anyone interested, then get my email address here for more information so we can set you up for a free consultation. But I do want to thank all of you ladies for joining our call. It is now 8:29, so I don't want to keep us on too much longer. But I definitely want to tell people about my book that I have here, Plant Powered Palette. Okay, it's not just a cookbook. I tell people that the cookbook, the recipes, is just an added-on bonus, but it mostly tells you about your health, things that you should be concerned about when it comes to your health. It also tells you about your important numbers that you should be aware of as well, because everybody wants to live a long life, but what will be your quality of life? That's what this book is. Okay. We will also have a book launch as well,
All
which
right,
um,
I'll call you back.
at the Centers for Hope at 5400 Preakness Way in Baltimore. It is November the 2nd between the hours of 2 and 4. And then we will have another follow-up show in 2 weeks. We will have different guests on, and I love this conversation that we were having with you ladies today. It brought a lot of insight to not only myself, but to others that have been watching this podcast. So I definitely appreciate you. Maybe when in 90 days, maybe you guys can be my Ricarda, okay, and talk about the program, because I mean, I don't like to speak about it much. I like for my clients that have actually been through the program, that has lost the whole entire person, to talk about my program, because I mean, no one wants to hear from me. I mean, I'm the owner. But I do have to tell people that I am 53 years old. Okay. 5'8", and I am 150 pounds. Healthy. And I love it. Me and my daughter my autistic daughter did 3.5 miles on Saturday. I might go for the Druid Hill Park on tomorrow with some colleagues. So we constantly keeping ourselves busy, always keeping ourselves busy. And even if you can't keep yourself busy, you cannot outrun a bad diet, because Ricardo really wasn't exercising that much in the beginning either, but she was losing the weight. Okay. So I'm not asking anyone to get out there and run a marathon. I just ask you to move. It's good for your joints and your bones. It's good for all of those things. Okay. So if no one else have any more questions, let me see if there's any more questions in the chat. Okay, so we did ask that one question. Does anybody have any last words that they want to say?
I'm going to send you my email, or Ricardo can send it, because you said the chat. I tried to put something in the chat, but that didn't work.
Okay. All right.
I'll make sure you get
Yeah, I
might
don't
get
think the chat is working either because I've been sending chats since 7:30. So I don't think the chat's working.
It's working. I just got Robin's email telling me that she was leaving, and I did see yours as
So
well. I respond to you, Margaret. So again, I do apologize for not seeing that. Um, Maybe that was my oversight. I do apologize again. But again, like I said, if anyone that's on the call or anyone that is following us and listening to our conversation, if you are interested in changing your life and leaving Tyrone alone, then please, by all means, send me an email at askdrshay@gmail.com. We will send you a link so we can have a discovery call so you'll know more about our program. But for right now, that is the end of our segment. Again, ladies, I would like to thank you so much for telling your truths. Sometimes it's not easy for most people, but I definitely appreciate you guys coming on the call and just being a voice for the audience. All right. So I look to see you guys back again, the audience back again in about 2 weeks, again showing on Monday at 7:30, another edition of Your Health Matters. Why? Because your health does matter. So thank you again so much, guys, and you all. Wait a minute, I think we have another comment here. Let me see. Not the comment. Yes, we have a comment that says, "Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Dr. Shay." So you ladies did an excellent job tonight. So again, thank you from the top of my heart. All right,
Thank you.
from me to you guys, we're going to sign off and hope to see you at our next segment in 2 weeks. So we'll be posting that as well.
good night.
Okay, everyone, and
All
God
right.
bless.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, this was